Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite Excel features, and that's the AutoFilter. AutoFilter lets you dynamically filter your list in place without having to resort it or hide rows or anything like that. So to turn it on, you want to make sure that your cursor or your active cell is inside the list that you want to filter, and come up to the Sort and Filter button and click Filter. And you'll see that you get these little drop-down arrows that appear at the top of each column heading. Now, you see here that these columns don't have any arrows. I've intentionally sabotaged this to prove a point that Excel will try to find the boundaries of your list by itself, but if you've got empty columns or empty rows in there, that will trip it up. So I'm going to turn the filter off, and then I will usually, just to be safe, manually select my list. You can either do that by selecting the rows or the cells yourself, or if there's nothing below it that would interfere, I'll usually just select the columns like that and then turn my filter on. So you can see that when you click on one of those, you get a list of each unique entry in that column. So you can turn off Select All, and you can select one or more that you want to look at, and it hides all the other rows that are not the things you want to look at. And you can clear the filter to go back to seeing everything. And you can also filter on more than one column. So if I want to look at a particular sales rep, I can look at just their rows. And now if I want to look at just his sales in a particular city, then I can do that too. Or again, you can do multiple cities. And so let me clear those filters. Now you've got other options too. In a text column like this, if you go there, you'll see you've got this text filters where you can do equals, does not equal, begins with, ends with, contains, does not contain, or the custom filter. And here you can do two conditions joined by either an and or an or. You'll have that in all your column types. If we come back here to a number column, we go to number filters, you'll see we've got similar but a little bit different: equals, does not equal, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, between. You've got a top 10, and if you choose top 10, you can choose between top 10 items or top 10%. And then you also can do, oops, wrong column. You can also do above average, below average, or the custom filter. Now in a date column, you notice that things look a little bit different over here. Here, you get this nested list by year and by month. So that is really nice when you've got a long list to be able to zoom in on a certain area. And here where we had the number or the text or the number filters, we've got date filters: equals, before, after, between, tomorrow, today, yesterday, next week, this week, last week. Same with month, quarter, year, all dates in a certain period. So you've got a lot of options there on your date filters. In addition to filtering on the data that's in a column, you can also filter based on what's not there. So here I can take a look and look at my blanks to see just items that don't have a sales rep filled in. And there are a lot of things that are kind of really useful side effects of the auto filter. Like for example, we can come over here and on the state, and because each unique entry only shows up one time in the list, we can easily see here that we've got some data that doesn't conform. Where we should have just postal abbreviations, we've got Georgia in there. So we can select just that, and now we can easily make the correction right there. Now we just have Georgia again. We can clear that filter. And there are other things that it makes really simple too. Like for example, if I want to pull some data out of here, and if I wanted to look at just sales in Marietta, I could do that, and then I could even select these rows, copy them, and you can see from the row numbers here that these are from all over the sheet. Come over to the next tab, I can paste those in there, And now I've got those all together in one simple list. We'll go back, clear that filter again. And also, you can do things like this. So if we go to just our blanks, I could copy something down here. Like maybe I can put another state abbreviation in there, and we'll fill that down. And again, you can see that I just filled that, from rows that are all scattered throughout this spreadsheet. And when I go back to look at everything, you can see that now I have those, and all the Georges in between were left intact. If I'd tried to do that from here, like if I just tried to fill this city down, I'd either have to overwrite that or just fill down to there. So there are just all kinds of things that AutoFilter is useful for in addition to just looking at specific data. Anyway, AutoFilter has saved me just all kinds of time over the years, so I hope you find this explanation useful and that it can save you as much time as it has me.